We did a parade on Good Morning Football on Friday. Look at the creamsicles. They sucked.
Number one on my list. I got to give it to them, y'all.
Your Detroit Lions. Our Detroit Lions.
I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions.
You better not be the one to doubt her.
Jared Goff, have you seen the way he's been balling?
Let's go. We been putting in the mouth.
I'm just saying. Have we seen the Lions? Have we seen the Lions?
Yeah. We only taking what was ours.
The fans that travel with us, everybody's got a hand, everybody's got a role, and if you're going to the game, you're helping us.
This is a Lions team that, coming into the season, we all said prove it. They have proven it.
We gon' blow your mind. Okay, whoa.
Craig Reynolds through the big block, and St. Brown works all the way downfield for the touchdown.
Down for too long to give up. Can't go, I need all plays.
Oh, man, he took a hit from Tracy Warren.
To the wall, can't hold. To the ball game over. These boys can't hold me. The boys can't hold us. I told you. Better not be the one to doubt us.
The Detroit Lions are the number one team after week 6 because their defense is real. They're going to have a defensive player of the year.
We only take what was ours.
Got a coach. You see, they're willing to bite kneecaps for this man. You got Jared Goff as a league MVP candidate.
Looking deep.
They got Jameson Williams back.
Wants it all. Jameson Williams looking for the ball. Got it! Touchdown!
Jameson makes the catch. Touchdown to Detroit Lions. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, number 9.
We gon' blow your mind.
I'm telling you, this is a real team. This is real.
We gon' blow your mind.
Defense trying to close this one out.
This is real.
We gon' blow your mind.
Sheesh. What up, Dunny? How you doing, bro?
Not much. Shout out Carl. That was an awesome video. He does a really good job.
Dude, he is the GOAT. Every video of his is great. I wish he was a Michigan fan so I could get some Michigan hype videos.
Right. He doesn't seem to be coming out with too many on Saturdays, but it's all right. We'll take it on Sunday for sure.
Before we roll into Sunday, let's just recap a little bit of that 49-0 victory. Everyone in the state of Michigan, if you're a Michigan fan, was extremely happy to see that. An absolute ass whooping, walk the dogs, got everyone that traveled to East Lansing field time. Everyone got some tick, which does not typically happen in, these big rivalry games. So that was just good to see. Everyone that traveled as a Michigan player got to step on the field and play against a rival.
Oh, for sure. And this is like the game that we have all thought should happen, and it never typically happens, but you always go into the game like, man, I just don't see how this other opposing team can score or anything like that. And last night we thoroughly dominated, which was nice to see. We didn't patty cake around with anything. We didn't let them score first or anything like that. Shout out Ray for coming on here last episode when we talked about it and said we'll stay even score. They did not. So good call. But yeah, it was a thorough ass beating. All I needed was Blake Corum to get 12 more yards rushing, and it would have been a really good day. But hey,
lucky, bro.
I'll take 49-0 all night long.
MSU tanking for Caleb Williams. Burley's already on some bullshit. I was initially impressed with the first couple drives because we completed a couple 3rd and longs that got to sustain our drive and keep our offense on the field, which inevitably just tore down Michigan State. We had like a 3rd and 14 and a 3rd and 16, and we convert both of them on the first 2 drives, and then we go down and convert for a touchdown. So going down 21-0 within, like 7 minutes, that's pretty hard to come back against, a Michigan defense.
No, absolutely. And do we expect us to pick up 3rd and 15, 3rd and 16 every game? No, but it's so nice to see that we have the ability to do it, because in years past, if we got into that, we might just turn around, hand the ball off the middle, and then say, okay, lick our wounds, let's play field position and punt. Where now we're being aggressive. We trust J.J. McCarthy. Harbaugh said it in a pregame interview. He's going to be the quarterback that every quarterback after him is compared to. How do you stand compared to J.J.? He's going to shatter the Michigan single-season passing touchdowns record that Chad has, and it's not going to be close. And J.J. is now the front runner for the Heisman Trophy, which is awesome to see because we have never had that.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. A Heisman, front runner quarterback at Michigan. It's just, we never thought we'd see it,
No.
especially, the last like 10 years of the mediocrity we had at quarterback to having JJ Watch in front of our eyes develop into, a Heisman favorite. Because to start, the talent was there, but it was just all mind. It was, how he was dealing with certain situations on the field and not turning the ball over. He had one game this year where he turned the ball over a few times. And after that, he's looked extremely good. So a lot of the other Heisman candidates have been dropping the ball a little bit, and JJ's trajectory is going up. So it's really good to see.
For sure. I mean, Michael Penix Jr., he struggled last night. They didn't score an offensive touchdown. The game was 15-7 against Arizona State, and the only touchdown they got was a 90-yard pick six, like with 6.5 minutes to go in the game. So, yeah, he fell out of the favorite. At the surgery center I work at, there's a nurse who she's a huge Michigan fan. Her daughter's a cheerleader for the football team. She has two $50 bets on JJ to win Heisman. One was preseason at plus 900 odds, and one was like 3 weeks ago at plus like 1,600 odds or something like that. So
oh my
she
God.
is sitting pretty. I even told her yesterday, like, hey, if they're going to give you plus money, you might want to think about cashing out because
just hedge one of them.
Because Penix Jr. looks really good. And she's like, nope, I'm in for the long haul. And I'm like, yes, woke up this morning sitting real good.
I love that shit. It was nice to see Mike Sanderson show out again on defense from being a former wide receiver to DB and just making big plays for us. There's a reason he's a captain and a leader on the team, but it's just good to see him get his flowers, during the season because he's that guy.
Absolutely. And it's always great when you have someone like that on defense where if you get the ball in his hands, he's being aggressive. He's going right back into offense mode. How do I score? How do I advance this ball rather than, just getting out of bounds or getting down? If he has to run over someone, I'm sure Mikey would try. He's just fun to watch. It's kind of like having Jabril back on defense and that kind of stuff. They're offensive mindset kind of dudes, but they're just so versatile. They're such team players that they can play defense.
Dude, he was flying down the sideline. He's so short, like his legs go so fucking fast. It looked like they were speeding him up. I seen the replay. It looked like they were like putting him in fast forward. He was flying down the side.
For sure. Like they couldn't keep up with the feet, that's for sure. I thought he stepped out personally, but
I did too. But they didn't have the angle.
That's NBC. That's NBC. Sorry.
That ain't on me. A little more college talk. USC goes down again. They cannot get over the Utah hump. We talked about it yesterday. They struggle with Utah. Caleb Williams has never beat them. What's going on over there?
He struggles against ranked opponents. There what was considered to be almost a lock for a two-time Heisman Trophy winner, the second ever. Now it's okay. Are you going to play the rest of the season? You're not going to make it to the college football playoff. You're not going to win the Heisman Trophy. Why would you play the rest of the season if you're going to be the first overall pick? Because a lot of people think he will be. USC just looks bad. I said yesterday on the podcast, I would take Utah plus the points. I should have listened to my gut. I went USC money line in two different parlays last night. That cost me like some good money. So they were the only legs that lost, unfortunately. But hey, you win some, you lose some. Got to listen to your gut.
It's the way she goes. Got to listen to that gut, though, brother.
For sure. Should have just taken the points. It would have been a lot easier.
You were right on. Speaking of, taking what your gut's talking about, that Penn State, Ohio State under that you were talking about was probably the freest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, they both look terrible. Ohio State ended up covering at home. Obviously, I guess Marvin Harrison Jr. ended up covering at home. him and the defense alone. But hey, good for Michigan, I think, because you get to see good film on both of them because those are the two best teams that they've played, and neither team looked very good on offense. So I'm excited for November 11th. I'm excited for November 25th. It's going to be fun in Ann Arbor on the Saturday after Thanksgiving, I think.
For sure. And we are definitely the best defensive team, maybe in the country, definitely in the Big Ten. So I really hope we just don't drop the ball in defense because these offense are going to need some help from our defense to be able to move the ball the entire game. They did not look great. Either offense did not look great other than Marvin Harrison. So I'm really just looking forward to how we match up and scheme against these offenses. and because we just got to get after the quarterback. You could tell on both sides of the ball or both teams, if we can just get after the quarterback and mess up the quarterback wide receiver timing, that's going to be the biggest key for us. And we have been getting after the quarterback, and we have like a 7-8 defensive line rotation. So I think that is going to bode well for us, extremely well against these good or the two other best teams in the Big Ten.
Did Mason Graham even play last night?
Yeah, he got a sack.
He did? Okay.
Sack and a couple tackles for loss.
I'm just thinking back to it, and I don't remember him. I just remember all the other guys doing stuff, which is fun to see, because he's the big name. But no, you're right. Penn State's quarterback, he's looked good so far this season. He's very young but inexperienced. And yesterday with a little pressure, there were wide open crossers that he just overthrew. Why? I don't know. I guess he was seeing ghosts out there, like Sam Darnold would say. And unfortunately for him, I think come time in Happy Valley, Michigan's going to turn up the heat a little bit more.
Dude, he looked terrible. Even on like the garbage time last couple drives, even when they scored, like he couldn't hit 10-yard out routes. He was throwing them damn near out of bounds, and the DBs were 10, 15 yards off of him playing,
right.
Prevent shit. But he just looked really bad. He looked uncomfortable. You could tell he was getting flustered after like a bad throw, like head down, like what the fuck is going on type shit.
Yeah.
He just looked super uncomfortable. And if he goes up against an even better defense, I am really intrigued to see how, he performs.
Yeah. And I think they went 1 of 16 on third down last.
Yeah. They were 0-15 until the last drive.
Yep. And then, this I feel bad for the kid, right? Like his post-game interview, he was crying and said I was absolutely horrible. So like he knows he played bad. Hopefully he bounces back a little bit, except for November 11th. Hopefully he sucks again. But good for Ohio State, I guess. They looked better than Penn State, but that's not saying much because Penn State looked really bad.
Yeah, I think Ohio State just came up in big times, but
right.
Throughout the entire game, they both looked like ass. There was just a few shining moments that they got the ball to Marvin, and their defense stepped up on the last couple drives, getting a few sacks. Once that fourth quarter hits, I feel like the Ohio State defense is different, especially against Penn State. Happened the same thing last year, and they just have like another click that Penn State didn't have on defense yesterday.
And also James Franklin, 21-0 against opponents except for Ohio State, Michigan, 0-3 in the last 2 years. That is ridiculous.
Brutal.
Like we're right there at the cliff. We just can't get over the cliff. But hey,
they average like 45 points against everyone else, and then they average like 14 against Michigan and Ohio State.
Yep, it's bad. Another Big Ten team, Iowa. Did you see how they lost?
Yes, dude, that punt return. Oh my god!
Because he was waving off, get away.
He wasn't even two hand waving because he was like pointing, and then he was like, get back, get back. The ball's right there, get back, and then he grabbed it. And people were trying to tackle him. It wasn't like he just skated past them.
He made 6 dudes miss right there on the sideline.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, we can't let that shit happen. I feel bad for the Iowa bettors. That's who I feel bad for.
Yeah,
because imagine Iowa watching that
yesterday.
Minus
3.5. Yeah, bullshit.
Yeah, imagine seeing that. That's like your last leg of your parlay or something.
Right.
And you're on your feet. You just watched them crib it. And then they're like, hold up. Wait a minute.
With 1:30 left, too. That's what really, it's just like, that was the game.
That was the game. Especially with two offenses that couldn't move the ball game.
At all.
If they would have got that touchdown, Minnesota's not driving, 75 yards for the game-winning touchdown.
What's sad is that score, even if you give it to them, the under of 30.5 still hits.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't listen to my DGen gut yesterday and take the over.
Yeah,
that's some ugly fucking Big Ten football.
For sure.
How many? I should have banged the punts on that one.
Definitely.
All right, enough of college football. Let's get into the NFL Week 7 slate. What do you like this week, Don?
Hey, it's the Lions' time to prove to everyone this is not a fluke, everyone. At home, yeah, we beat up on everyone. Away, we struggle sometimes. Let's go to Baltimore today and lay an ass whooping. Let's continue to dominate against the run and force Lamar Jackson to beat us with his arm. If we can do that, I like our chances. We got to have someone spying today, so I think Anzalone will be very busy as far as watching Lamar Jackson. I think his rush line set at 55.
Jesus.
Which, I mean, historically, yeah, that's probably a good bet. But this Lions defense is different. Brian Branch is back today.
Yes, sir.
Time to get the Defensive Rookie of the Year award going. Hopefully he gets a pick or a forced fumble, something like that. And then hopefully Jahmyr Gibbs can show out a little bit. We haven't seen too much from him. He struggles kind of running between the tackles. Hopefully we can get him in space and get him moving, see his shiftiness, and watch him break one or two, because that would be a lot of fun. What do you think?
I think this game is going to depend on if we can have a running game. If we can at least get 60 to 80 yards running the ball, I think we'll be fine. Goff is going to throw it 35 times, probably throw for a couple touchdowns, we hope for. It's going to come down to our running game and our defense, how well we can play against Lamar on the ground. And like you said, make him, win this game with his arm and not his legs. And then if we can just sustain drives due to, a cloud of dust getting 3 yards, we're going to need that. That's kind of what we're built on. That's what David Montgomery has been doing all year, and it wears the defense out. And then it sets up what we do best, play action pass. That's basically the Lions offense. We are play action pass offense. And in order to do so, you have to have a running game. So hopefully the first 2 drives we can get set up and our offensive line scheme is working well, and, give Gibbs an opportunity to make a play against one man in the hole. And we can just get the ball moving on the ground, because I think that's the biggest factor in today's game.
For sure. And like you were saying, we don't need, the 120, 150 yards that you might get if David Montgomery's healthy. We just need something formidable. 3 yards a pop on the ground to just at least make it so they can't just put, 6 in the box and say, all right, you're going to throw.
Right.
Let's see if you can beat us. So hopefully we can, get a couple good runs. Jahmyr Gibbs show up big. He hasn't scored a touchdown yet. He's missed the last couple games. He should be healthy today. Hopefully he plays. Hopefully he balls out, because this will be nice for sure. Shut all the haters up that are saying, why did we take Jahmyr Gibbs with the 12th overall pick? Well, let's go show him.
That's kind of what I was going to lead into. He has that opportunity to just turn around the narrative from the last 6 weeks and, let the Lions hop back on that bandwagon and say he is that dude. I think he's going to get a lot of opportunities. I think he's going to get a few catches this week.
Okay.
Whether it's screen or just like a choice route out of the backfield or anything like that, because we know that he has really good hands and he has always been a great receiving running back. And I think if we're going to have him on the field the whole time, we're going to utilize his strengths and try to get him the ball any way we can.
Hey, I like it. Amon-Ra St. Brown just got to do his thing. Get open, run those crossers that you run so well, those in digs, those out routes, and just find those holes. Sam Laporta. Oh, it's BB's birthday today too. Oh, Brian Branch, defensive touchdown. Let's go. Come on. Lamar, just throw it to him, baby.
He's going to be flying around the field.
He will. 11 tackles. Let's see it. Come on now. He's done it before. But no, I think the passing game, like you said, 35 attempts, I think that'll probably hit today. Just hopefully with the wind being like 16 mile an hour there at the field, hopefully Goff doesn't have to air it out too much as far as the yardage. Hopefully we can find those holes. Laporta gets open. Gibbs is our check down. Amon-Ra, obviously, with his 10 to 15-yard intermediate routes, and we just tear up the defense like that.
For sure. And Baltimore's offense have not been putting up a lot of points.
Right.
So if our offense can get rolling and make them try to keep up with a fast pace, kind of game that they have to put up 21 to 24 points a game, I think we're going to, be sitting pretty, especially with how well our defense has been playing. If we get Lamar into more pass attacking, because they're down 10 points or whatever, I think that's kind of where we want to sit. And if we can get to that, like, we're sitting really pretty.
Yeah, we talk about teams that kind of are allergic to the end zone when they get down there, and Baltimore is another one. As the space, like you were talking before we went live today, as the space gets smaller and smaller, the athletes matter less and less. So if we can, obviously bend but don't break is the kind of defense we typically play. They can get their yards. We just can't give up touchdowns. Make Justin Tucker kick the field goals, and then us on the offensive side punch it in. That way, 7 beats 3 every time.
Always. We got to keep Mark Andrews, out of the end zone and limit his catches because he is the playmaker. They like to, take a couple deep shots down the sideline, as Baltimore usually does with their speedy receivers, but the bread and butter is Mark Andrews and running the ball. So if we can eliminate Mark Andrews and make them run the ball or throw it to anyone else, I think that's got to be our game plan going in.
For sure.
It's just going to determine if we, execute it or not.
No, I agree. It's going to be an exciting game. I can't wait till 1 o'clock. It's going to be awesome.
For sure. Who else you like today? I know we're both on the Lions, obviously. That's just
right.
like a thing.
I'm full fading the Patriots today. So last night I was looking, Mac Jones, his passing yardage was at 180.5. I was thinking about taking the under then. I woke up today and it's 175 already. So someone has been hammering the under. DraftKings offers under weekly specials. You can pick who's going to be the highest scoring team of the day, who's going to be the lowest scoring team of the day. I'm taking the Pats to be the lowest scoring team at plus 650. Just a little sprinkle. I think that the Bills defense is still pretty good. Josh Allen is, a pretty good offensive quarterback. And then I built this same game parlay that Riley just pulled up for us. So plus 420, obviously not going to change, what house you're living in, but Bills to be the money line winner, Mac Jones under 175.5, him to throw not a touchdown, an interception. Patriots under 17 points, and for the first half, under 8 points. So they can score a touchdown in the first half. They just can't kick a field goal or anything like that after. I really think the Bills dominate the Patriots. Bill Belichick is kind of looking skeptical. He's kind of on the hot seat, which I thought I never would say. And then Bailey Zappi, he looked good last year. The offense moved the ball better with him last year. So it's just a matter of time. You can't keep throwing Mac Jones out there. He looks bad.
Yeah, it doesn't help that they have no wide receivers to really complement them.
Right. And their run game has been bad.
They don't have a good run game. They don't have like a speedy back. I feel like that's their biggest problem. They got Stevens, and then they have Ezekiel Elliott, and they're both kind of like the power backs. They don't have that burst back that they need to change the pace back. And you kind of need that back because he's your third down pass or receiving back as well. And they don't have that extra element to their offense right now to, throw off a back or just get different mismatches. And if your wide receivers aren't getting open, your quarterback's not going to look good. It's just inevitable. It's not
right.
There's nothing you can do. You can't scheme it up any better if they're not getting open. Mac Jones has looked bad, but I don't think enough has been talked about how bad the receivers in general have been.
Right. And your defense can only be so good if they're out there for 3/4 of the game. Scores are going to happen. You're going to get fatigued.
And when you're out there the whole time, that offensive coordinator gets looks at every single
right.
coverage. You're going against certain packages, and by the end of the game, they know what they need to run if you're going to stay in those same packages.
Right.
So, you're at an uphill battle if you're you're relying on your defense in a run game. If your defense is on the field the whole time, you have to sustain drives and score points to allow your defense to do what they do.
Hopefully, what happens today is Mac Jones goes out there, first drive 3 and out. Second drive, pick, and Bill Belichick says, fuck it. You're out. And then we don't even have to worry about anything. Bailey Zappi comes in. Mac Jones under is just free. Let's see here. The last, how many games is it? 1, 2, 3 games. They've scored a total of 20 points and given up, what's that? That's quick math right there. 93 points. That's just ridiculous. That's not Bill
crazy.
Belichick.
Yeah, that's not a Belichick ran team in general. Brett Brown put in the Discord today. He's got a anytime touchdown, 3 people. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Stephon Diggs, DK Metcalf. That is 5 for a hundo. That is not a bad price for those.
Not bad at all, especially because Diggs has been balling lately. Amon-Ra obviously is always going to try and get open. around the end zone. And then DK, it doesn't matter. You just throw it up to him.
Yeah, especially against the Arizona Cardinals team that has been letting up 30-plus points a game. DK might get his this week. I like this a lot, especially with the 50% profit boost. Fucking run it.
Absolutely.
What else we got here? This is a team lay. Brett Brown's got the Browns, Raiders, Lions, and Falcons. 10 for $1.36. I am not on the Falcons. I am on the Bucks today.
All right.
Today. I'll pull up this real quick. This is what I got for team lay. It's on the right-hand side. Lions plus 136, Bucks minus 148, the Bills minus 355. This was I told you, it was at like minus 400.
And it's coming down. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there. And then the Raiders versus the Bears, 2 backup quarterbacks, but you got the veteran backup quarterback against a Division II backup quarterback. I think the Raiders have a better offense, better weapons around the ball, and a better run game. So I'm going to roll with the Raiders.
They need to win and feed Devontae the ball if they're going to keep him happy. They said they're not trading him regardless of what happens, like what he says. But still, he could make that an absolute cancer,
For sure.
I feel like they got to feed him today.
Yeah, and it's going to be like a big off-season thing. If they don't trade him and they just suck this whole time, there's just going to be negative attention on the Raiders per usual. I feel like this happens every year. The Raiders are always in shambles, especially going back all the way to like Gruden and Antonio Brown and all that shit, and to here. They got Devontae. They thought him and Carr were going to turn shit around. That didn't happen. New quarterback, Devontae's still here. Shit's not turning around. I think the Raiders are kind of just in shambles right now. And it's tough to see because they got Josh Jacobs, who, in my mind, is one of the best backs in the league. Put him on any other team, he's going to ball out. He runs super hard. He catches the ball out of the backfield. And then they have a good defensive line. They got Crosby, and they have a lot of playmakers on defense. So the fact that they can't get it rolling on offense is just killing this fucking team.
No, absolutely. But like you said, the Bears are going to struggle today. The Raiders, not the best team in the world, but looking to bounce back. So I think that's a good pick, money line for the Raiders there. A good value, minus 142. You're on the road.
For sure. And I don't know why I like the Bucks today, but I just don't trust the Falcons.
I feel you.
I've been the opposite, but for some reason I like the Bucks today. I think, they got the better quarterback. They got the better weapons around the ball. It's just going to come down to if Baker can do what Baker does and fire those guys up and, put up 24 points.
Hey, going into the second slate of games today, you will know if you hit that bet or not. The Bills just keeps going down, 355 already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And right here, when I clicked it, it was at 375. But when I took it, it was at like minus 400, almost like 390 or something. So it sucks.
I built a little kind of just a 3-leg lotto kind of thing. Got Kenneth Walker to go for 100 yards against the Cardinals. He hasn't gone for 100 yet this season. Cardinals typically struggle against the run. K9 gets 17 carries a game. Hopefully he can, bust a couple to get that 100 yards. Cooper Kupp to go for 100 against the Steelers. Steelers are struggling so far against the receivers this year. And Cooper Kupp is averaging something like 120, 130 yards in the 2 games he's back. And then the last one is Aaron Jones, 100 rushing plus receiving yards. The Broncos are porous on defense. They're Swiss cheese. They really struggle. They really struggle against the running backs. Aaron Jones, could bust a 70-yarder, kind of like what Brees Hall did a couple weeks ago. You put those 3 legs together, you get plus 1673. And I used odds boost on DK to get it up to plus 2008. So obviously a little bit more of a lotto long shot, but I think those 3 legs have a pretty decent chance at hitting. And there they are right there on the screen for you.
Kenneth 100 plus, Cooper 100 plus, Aaron Jones 100 plus, rushing and receiving.
Yep.
I'm with it. I really think Aaron Jones, if he's, back and 100% healthy, that this is something extremely manageable, especially against a run defense like the Denver Broncos. They have been struggling all year. In general, they've been struggling all year. And Cooper Kupp's going to do what Cooper Kupp does. Matthew Stafford always has his guy. He's going to target him 5 to 10 times a game. And, that guy's back and ready to roll.
For sure. Puka Nakua, I was thinking about taking his receiving line as well. It's at 4.5. So if you like Puka, he gets his target still, even though Cooper's back. So look for that if you're looking for another leg or if you're looking for another straight bet. And then this is a no sweat $10 bet that DraftKings gave me. So I said, fuck it, we'll put it for the Lions game. Lions +7. So if they lose, it should be less than a touchdown. Over 36.5. Amon-Ra, 60 yards. Sam Laporta, 40 yards. These two, obviously, if you look at the stats this season, they should hit those based on what they've been doing. Lions over 20.5. So they don't have to score 3 touchdowns. You can add in a couple or a bunch of field goals if you want. But 3 touchdowns, we've been scoring 20 or more pretty much every game this season. Both teams to score 15 points. I do think Baltimore will probably get over 15. And then Tucker to kick 2 field goals. It seems like every time we play the Ravens, he kicks a few field goals. So we'll see.
I'm with it. I'm all about it. I would be super surprised if the Lions didn't score over 20.5. Like you said, we've been doing it almost every single game. And our offense has looked like one of the best in the league.
Right. And that's actually a straight bet that I'm on today is Lions over 20.5. It's +100 on DraftKings right now. Yesterday, we could have got 19.5 at minus like 160 or something like that. So today, waking up at 20.5, I'm okay with. Took that for a unit. So we'll see.
Oh, yeah. I have a nasty, nasty punter parlay today.
Love it. Love it.
You know how I like them punters. So I got Baltimore, Seattle, and the Rams.
Okay.
Kickers. They go over 3.5 punts today. We need 4 punts. And the last one is Kansas City, Tommy Townsend. He's at 3 flat. Good push potential there. That's the only reason I took him at 3.
Absolutely.
Everyone else, 3.5, 4 punts. It's just doable, man. Anytime I see 3.5, my degen mind says, run that shit, run that shit.
Absolutely. I was looking at stats of the KC game. Travis Kelce typically eats against the Chargers. So look for his lines if you like them. Typically, when they play away, he actually plays better. So the home games, he goes a little under 100 yards, I think. But he's been doing pretty well. And then Keenan Allen at home against KC in his last, I think, 5, he scored 3 times. So look for that anytime touchdown for that game later. I think it's the night game tonight, isn't it? Or is that a 4:30 game?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I can check right now. I got it. The Chiefs play at 4:25.
Yeah, because the Eagles game is tonight.
Wait, no, that's next week. I'm lying.
They do play at 4:28.
Yeah, 4:28 today.
Yeah, Eagles Dolphins is at the night game tonight. But if you're looking for something to bet in the afternoon slate, look at Kelce, his receiving lines, maybe over the 6.5 catches, 70 yards, and then Keenan Allen probably to score a touchdown. So
is Taylor Swift going to be there though?
That's the real question. I have not heard.
What are the odds on that?
Unfortunately, you can't bet that, but I would.
The Chargers-Chiefs game is super intriguing to me because if the Chargers lose this game, they are looking rough on the year.
Definitely. That whole division looks bad except for KC.
Yeah, and we thought that was going to be one of the strongest divisions.
Right.
Per usual. I don't know. The Chargers have me in disbelief a little bit right now because they have so much talent around the ball. I know Mike Williams went out early, per usual. The motherfucker gets hurt every single year. But it's tough to see all that talent. I mean, from Eckler to Keenan Allen, Bosa, fucking Khalil Mack. Like, they have so many star-studded players on that team for them not to be able to just come together and get a dub. A lot of it's going back onto their coach. That's what's kind of what happens when you start losing. Your coach gets it first.
Right. Coach and quarterback, right?
Coach and quarterback.
No one's going to get rid of Justin Herbert, but I feel like he needs to shoulder some of the blame, right? They have scored 17, 24, 28, 24, and 34 points this season. So they've been scoring some points. The defense is just giving up way too much. But they've played some decent opponents at least. So hopefully as their schedule gets easier, they can start to pick up some wins as long as it's not against the Lions here in a couple of weeks. We'll be fine.
For sure. They're kind of lucky that the bottom 2 teams in their division are playing like shit. It gives them a better chance. this is the game, if they come out and beat Kansas City, that they can just turn their season around and get a couple dubs under their belt.
For sure. If they beat KC today, they turn around and play the Bears next week. So they should, pick up 2 wins and start to go after that.
For sure. What are you thinking about this Miami Eagles game? This is supposed to be just a
barn
burner. 52.5 right now. 52.5 is the over currently, and that is the biggest over by far of the week.
For sure. I like it's hard to say I like the over 52.5, but I do like the over 52.5. Dolphins, they're explosive. It's not cold enough to slow them down just yet in Philadelphia. And then Philly, they can score with anyone too. So they're at home today, so you must take Jalen Hurts to score a touchdown, and you must sprinkle him to score the first touchdown. So look for those tonight because they're at home. Tush push is real. He gets in the end zone at home always.
Yeah, I mean, ever since you said that earlier in the year, it's every home game. I'm like, dude, it's every fucking home game. Dunny was not lying.
It's ridiculous, but it's free. I mean, you just bet it and you win. So
bet it and you win. Those are my favorite bets. I got a 3-pick prize pick.
Okay.
Josh Allen over 1.5 touchdowns versus New England.
Okay.
Justin Herbert over 1.5 touchdowns versus KC. Think that's going to be a barn burner as well. A lot of points scored in that game. Not too much defense. Josh Allen has been eating up New England for the last 3 years, and I think he can get 1.5 touchdowns in the first half. I'm not going to lie. And then Gabe Davis over 3 catches. You got push potential here. New England loves to take away your number 1 receiver. So I like Gabe Davis to get a little more open today and, find the soft spot in coverages where on the other side of the field, they're trying to lock up Diggs. So those are the 3 picks I got just for prize picks. Like I said, the Gabe Davis over 3 catches, 3 pushes, Josh Allen over 1.5 TD passes, and Herbert over 1.5 TD passes. 24 hundo.
I really do like that. That's nice for sure.
It's not too bad. And, like I said, the Gabe Davis push potential is always
makes it.
I don't mind the 3s whatsoever.
No, absolutely. That pushes and now just turns to a 2-legger and you're still happy.
Exactly. And like I said, I think Herbert's going to have to get it done through the air. They're going to have to score a lot of points to beat the Chiefs team, and they need to. They need this game so bad. I think they're going to throw, the whole playbook at him.
Hey, I agree. The Chiefs defense has been pretty decent so far since they got Chris Jones back. But the Chargers, they're explosive when they're clicking. They can beat anyone. They can score points with anyone. Eckler, might catch his 17 dump offs and get it.
I miss him on my fantasy team.
Get 43 yards through the air, but 17 catches. And he might score 3 touchdowns. You never know, So look for Herbert to hopefully bounce back a little bit. I did see Mike Greenberg from ESPN. He took Herbert under yards today.
That's crazy. I've seen a lot of people taking Patty Mahomes under 280 today.
So maybe it's something in the air. Maybe it's going to be a run-heavy game, but I doubt it. I just don't see it. I don't see it.
Dude, if that happens, I'll eat my shirt.
Right.
How do you feel about the Niners bouncing back against Minnesota? They're at a -7 right now. For some
I
reason,
really like that for push potential.
Yeah. I like the -7. I think they come out and smoke them.
I think so too.
Even with, all the injuries and stuff, Minnesota's looking bad. No JJ. San Fran obviously has the better defense and the better offense. So -7, I think if they're home, it'd be -10.5.
Right.
So,
and it's in the dome, which is nice. And I went to ESPN for 49ers just to see if CMC was playing. And the first video is Schefter saying all signs point to McCaffrey playing against the Vikings. So if CMC's playing 7, that's easy money.
Yeah, good fucking luck. If Minnesota keeps it that close, I'll be super surprised, especially because Minnesota, when they lose this game, their season's pretty much over.
And it's Tank Central time. Kirk Cousins is going to be on the trade block. Look for the Jets to potentially, try and get him. And then hopefully they try and tank for Caleb Williams, I guess.
Or JJ, the Heisman winner. The Heisman hopeful. I would not like to see him
don't
on
want to see
Minnesota.
that, right?
It's going to have to happen, though. I mean, there's a good chance he falls to an actual good team, and people kind of overhype Caleb Williams, Drake May, Penix, and then
let's just have him fall.
JJ gets to fall to like the
32 Detroit.
32, my ass. No shot. I think we're way too invested in Goff to waste any first or second round pick on a quarterback currently.
You're correct. You're correct.
What about any of these other games?
A lot of ugly games today.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Commanders, Giants, Browns, Colts, Steelers, Rams. They're just like these ugly games that, 37, 40, 44, just very low totals.
Packers, Broncos.
I think Broncos win that game for some reason.
You think so?
I don't think they deserve it, but I don't think Green Bay's good. I just don't think they're good.
I don't care as long as Aaron Jones gets his yards. We'll be happy.
My boy.
Seahawks minus 9.5 against the Cardinals. That's a lot of points to be given up, especially because the Seahawks haven't looked like they've looked like a, I would say, mediocre team. Not good, not bad, but somewhere in the middle there. And the Cardinals have been competing, at least in a lot of their games. So I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think the last few weeks the Cardinals have been trending down. They had they had a peak maybe 3 weeks ago where we're like, is Josh Downs actually for real? Is he gonna get this team a couple wins? Are they gonna keep him next year? And then the last 2 weeks have been pretty slow for them. I don't think Pete Carroll is gonna let this man beat them. And I think their defense and running game is going to propel. I like Seahawks minus 9.5 today.
Okay.
I don't have them in any of my lays, but for me personally, I could just see how they could control the clock, control the run game. Kenneth Walker has a big game, and then you force the hand for the Cardinals to throw the ball more, get Josh Downs 35 passing attempts and shit like that,
right.
And that's where shit goes downhill for them because
real fast.
The Seahawks defense is good. They're not great. They're really good, but you can't forget you got Bobby Wagner running all around that field, knocking heads. So I think that Seahawks obviously have the upper hand. That's why they're 9.5, but I think they can cover today.
For sure. And I went to Cardinals ESPN page. They're talking about Kyler potentially starting to practice again. They just activated Buda Baker off of IR. So maybe this team is going to get the needed reinforcements, just not for this week. So
it's too late, man. Just keep them right. down, keep them healthy.
Trade them.
Get some picks. They should trade Kyler for whatever he's worth and then go get another quarterback this year because they don't have any talent around the ball. They might as well just full tank, full reset, and try to do it the right way through draft picks and shit.
I agree wholeheartedly.
They should try to be the football version of the OKC Thunder and try to get as many fucking picks as possible and reset the organization because the Cardinals are bad.
Trust the process, baby. I did say earlier in the week that K9, his rush yards for the Cardinals Seahawks, it's set at 79.5. I don't know why the 80 yards just kind of scares me a little bit. If he gets his 17, he probably should go over it. I know I said I was going to take it. I don't think I'm taking it this week. I'm going to hold off, even though I want him to go for 100 in the lotto. All right, we'll do it.
Peer pressure. Christian, what's good, gentlemen? How you doing? How you been? What's up, Christian?
All right, it's
go
a
blue,
unit.
Baby.
Go blue.
Go blue.
Let's go. Yeah, so I put it in for a unit. K9's 80 yards. Boom. He's going to hit it.
I like it. I got him in 2 of my fantasy leagues too, so I'm actually very biased.
Very biased.
Very biased.
That's me with Aaron Jones.
The Bills are back up to minus 395. There was just like a 20-minute stretch where they dropped to like 360.
Someone was hammering Patriots offense or money line.
Dude, someone was smacking it. I'm just gonna go through here and tell you what I think.
Okay.
Almost all the games. Spreads.
I love it.
It won't be easy.
He said I'm picking them all.
I'm going to go Dolphins +3.
I like it.
Denver, money line or +1. Money line, might as well, +100. I'm going to go with the Chiefs, -5.5. I know we were talking about the Chargers need to bounce back. I just don't see it happening in Arrowhead. I like Seattle, Owning Josh Downs bald ass -9.5. I think Seattle and Pete Carroll scheme well and make him throw the ball to win this game. I like the Browns -3.5 versus Gardner Minshew and the Colts. Washington
Hold on,
Commanders.
did you pick the Steelers game? Sorry.
No, did I skip it?
Yep.
I'll take the Rams -3.5. Cooper Kupp's back. I like the Rams. I don't fuck with Pittsburgh currently. The running game is going well. They do have the best defensive end in the league, but their offense isn't there. Kenny's small hands. Pickett hasn't been able to get it done.
All right, and then who do you like? Browns, Colts.
The Browns
Okay.
against Gardner Minshew. And the Colts, I like Washington against the Giants. Danny Dimes is not starting today. I expect Sam Howell to throw for 300 again, and the Giants are kind of just in shambles right now, quarterback wise. Give me the Raiders, battle of the backup quarterbacks, -2.5. We got a backup legend playing today. How do you not back him? He's been in the league for 8 years. He's got more experience than any other starting quarterbacks. Give me the Buccaneers, -3 versus Falcons.
Okay.
Give me the Bills, -7.5 against poverty Patriots. And give me the Lions +3. Come on, baby.
All right, that 11-pick parlay is only
plus 1 billion. Go Blue, go Lions.
32,855.
No shot.
$1 gets you $1,329.55.
Jesus Christ. Patriots have half a defense. Bills by 1 million. That's what I'm saying.
I agree.
This line has been super jumpy in the last hour that we've been live, but it's getting back up to that -400.
And who knows? It might be what we kind of talked about with the 49ers last week. The guy who built the line last week, we thought was, losing his job because he was losing DraftKings money. Turns out he was a genius.
He got a raise this week, baby.
He did. So maybe the Bills are falling into the same trap, though. That spread line hasn't moved. It's been 7.5 -110 all day long.
People are just banging the Patriots money line for literally zero reason. I think the only way the Bills lose this game is if Josh Allen throws like 3 picks again and some hurt. Weird shit. And breaks his leg. I think that's the only chance. Sure. Christian, if you missed it, my 4-leg parlay right here is on the right. Lions, Bucks, Bills, Raiders. Tail cautiously. But yeah, that's what I like to do.
Awesome.
All right, bro. We got 7 minutes till game time.
Perfect.
You got anything else?
No, go Lions. That's it.
Go Lions, baby. Thanks for tuning in, Christian. I appreciate you, bro. Joe, really appreciate you guys. Have a good Sunday. Peace.
Peace. We're still live.